We're going to go ahead and get started with the Finance Committee meeting of the San Benito CIC Board of Trustees. Today's January the 15th, 2019. We're going to call this meeting to order at exactly 8:09 p.m. Let's go on with item number 2, the presentation of Ivan Ortegon regarding health insurance. Ms. Rendon?
Yes, Mr. Lopez. We have this evening Ms. Ortegon that's going to give a presentation on the health insurance and its past, present, and future. Past performance, current, and also going forward, what we want to do.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ortegon?
Welcome, Ms. Ortegon. How are you?
Good evening, Dr. Carmen, who stepped out, Mr. Vargas, and members of the board. Did everybody, I had submitted a packet, if everybody received it, and then there is also a timeline that I can pass out when we go through the future. So in the packet, it has a pie chart that goes over the plan year from October 1st, 2017 to September 30th, 2018. Which is the first year that you had with United Healthcare. And I would like to mention that there are 2 representatives from United Healthcare here, in case you have specific questions that you want them to address. Darlene Hallman and Connie Hernandez. Connie's actually a local representative that's located in the Harlingen office of UHC. Both are instrumental to San Benito CISD and are dedicated just for your this plan. So if we go through the pie chart, it gives you an overall that last year the prescription claims came out to about 15% of the overall cost. Administration came out to 16%, and the medical claims came out to 69%, which medical claims obviously was the bulk of everything. If you go to the second page, overall, the performance of the plan was short. After you look at the fixed costs and the claims, and then you look at the premium equivalent rates, which is what San Benito put in, and then what the premiums of the employees were put in, it was short. However, there was reimbursements paid to San Benito CISD for claims that went over the stop loss. At that time, the deductible for the stop loss was $125,000. So any claim that went over that, any dollar that went over $125,000 was paid back to the district. So we actually, toward the end of the year, did foresee that there was going to be a shortfall, about $300,000 is what it ended up being, which was covered by your reserve account, which Mr. Rendon had, we reported in June, what we projected for the end of that year. A lot of this, we did go back to review the plan to see that the reason that there was a shortfall in funding was because there was a significant increase in dependent coverage, 27% increase that was not anticipated, and the premiums that were calculated prior to October 1st of 2017 actually discounted dependent rates to make them more affordable, and that in turn caused the increase of the participation, which also in turn caused the increase of the claims. So all that's related. We also had a 12% increase in employee only, which was about 130 employees, because the year of October 1st, 2017 was the first year in I don't know how many years, at least 10, that the district offered medical insurance to its employees at 0 cost. So that was a big benefit. And this year that was carried over. So we do have, I don't have a written presentation, just an oral presentation of how the plan's doing now. We did have, unfortunately, the district had 3 catastrophic claims that hit in October of 2018, which is the beginning of the new plan year. And by catastrophic, it means that it went over your stop loss deductible. So you are going to start getting money back from the deductible increase from $125,000 to $150,000. So there were 3 catastrophic claims. However, the trend from October to November and November to December is decreasing. And the anticipation for January is definitely a decrease because that's when the deductible plan year starts over, the out-of-pocket maximums start over. So we're projecting to see a decrease. So it's going to be ideal for us, for me to be able to present a more accurate overall plan assessment with 6 months of claims. So in the next quarter, I'll be able to provide you with a good assessment of how claims are going versus how the projected costs, the fixed costs, and how the claims are running. So,
Mr. Ortegon, really quick on that quick point, and this conversations I've had with Ms. Rendon, is that we're already seeing where the district's contribution is gonna need to increase a little bit because of just the high amount of participation, because of the appeal of the zero employee contribution. So, Ms. Rendon, do you remember those conversations we had about the district's current position and needing to, and looking at our Ms. Silva's jacket is in the way. But do you remember those conversations?
Yes, and I had the conversation also with Ms. Ortegon, and in where it seems like is, as she explained, it was an attractive premium, so we had more people come on. The one that we isolated is that the family plan needs to be adjusted. I think that at the time we discussed, it was a little over 300 additionals. That premium needs to be adjusted. That was causing some of the shortfall. So we didn't want to make a mid-year change because we didn't give notice to our employees. But going forward, if we are going to do, and she'll be talking about going forward and doing a new RFP, is to adjust that to where it's still affordable, but we're not taking that loss.
Okay, thank you.
and of the 3 catastrophic claims that hit in October, they're all dependents. So, and out of over 100,000 claims, I believe there's 6 of them. Of the 6, 5 are dependents. So the drive in your claims are dependents. So that does need to be adjusted. So going forward, recommendation to the board would be to go out for RFP for all of the self-funded aspects of the health insurance plan, and I provided a timeline.
Ms. Rendon, with that being said, because of the increase in the participation, is it a good time? I know we have the timeline right now, but now would be a perfect time for us to take this out to bid and see if we can get more competitive rates, correct?
Yes, sir. I think the
Okay.
decrease in the claims would
Correct.
be something that we could get some competitive quotes in there. Our plan years is 10-1, but last time we went out for an RFP, we did it around the June, and we found ourselves a little bit running under time. So this is a good time to start. If we're going to go for an RFP, is to start the process, to give us some time.
So these are target dates. The recommendation would be to do the RFP for the self-funded health insurance plan in February 4th, for example. And then to have, it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get all the information back from the carriers. So that would be a proposed deadline of February 28th. And then in April, be able to present in the board workshop the presentation and discussion of the recommendations of all aspects of the plan. So when we go out for RFP, we will be looking at several items, administration fees, which right now is, which last year ran at 16%, pharmacy, which last year was 15%, but there are pricing and rebating costs that can savings that can significantly be done there. Total cost of care, clinical programs, the networks, and how they reimburse, the stop loss pricing, of course, and plan design, where we could look at continuing 3 plans. I would recommend seeing if it would be possible to keep one plan at no cost to the employee. And then, but one thing that does have to be looked at carefully is the premiums for the dependent coverage, because they were significantly lowered in October 1st of 2017. And because of that, the claims increased larger, the percentage amount, than was anticipated for. So, and then after, to go back in June to finalize the medical plan summaries and the premium rates, and of course, work with Ms. Rendon on the budgets and so forth, so that everything can be approved in June. So all the materials, everything will be ready for open enrollment that always begins in August, for a plan year effective date of October 1st. Are there any questions?
Great. Nope. We're
Okay.
good.
Well, thank you very much. It's a
Thank you,
pleasure.
ma'am. Appreciate it. Let's go on to agenda item number 3, review and discussion of renewal of the agreement with Lineberger, Gogan Blair, and Samson LLP in the collection of delinquent aid valerium taxes. Ms. Rendon?
Yes, sir. We have Ms. Monica Solis from Lineberger, Gogden Blair, and here's that time of the year also, again, to renew the delinquent tax collection. Ms. Solis?
Solis?
I don't know if you all have any questions regarding this matter. I know the proposed contract was sent over to Dr. Carmen for review. If you have any questions regarding it, I know that the last time we were here, there was a source of contention. We'd proposed a 4-year term, and I believe that a 3-year term was something more favorable to San Benito, so we've now presented that with those terms. And if you have any questions regarding any of these services or the terms that are detailed, I'd be happy to take them.
No, we do have the contract in front of us. I think for me, I don't think we've had any problems historically with your firm, so I'm fine with a person with a 3-year contract.
I agree. Agenda item? Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. Let's move on to agenda item number 4, review and discussion proposal of the RFP-1218-CSD catering service district-wide. Ms. Rendon?
Yes, sir. The district went out for proposals, an RFP. We put out for catering services district-wide. We hadn't previously not gone out there, but gone out to get an RFP, and part of the reason was because we were below the $50,000 limit. We have seen some increases in that area, so we decided to put out an RFP so that we can do business, particularly with local vendors. I do have Mr. Cavazos here if you'll have additional questions, but we delivered the RFP package to the surrounding restaurants, areas. We consulted with the most frequently used through the athletics. Before you is the ones that did submit the package with all the information that is required. There wasn't a lot of vendors that submitted, but we would like the board to consider these and approve them so that we can continue doing business with them. We're also looking at if other vendors are interested in doing supplemental as we go along, either monthly, to add additional vendors, so just not limit it ourselves to those.
Yes, ma'am, that was my question, just to limit it to these few, so it's not limited, it can still grow.
We want,
or
yes,
still
sir,
add.
and that's, we kind of want to do is like supplement and bring it to the board
Okay.
as we get it. There is a lot of paperwork that is involved in an RFP process, ethics commission and so forth, but we're willing to help them. So anybody that would like to do that, they can contact us and we can do another series and bring to the board for consideration.
Okay, thank you, ma'am, appreciate it. Agenda item? Yes. All right, agenda item. Then move on to agenda item number 5, review and discussion of the district-wide wellness program. Mr. Rendon? Or Dr. Carmen?
Yeah, let me touch on this real quick. The board may recognize this wellness program and the gym reimbursement plan. This came to this committee back in April. And as we were looking at advertising this out to our employees, we thought New Year would be a perfect time. Everybody does their New Year's resolutions, time to get back in the gym. We looked back to the language and we realized that while it had come to this committee, it had not come back to the board for a full vote. So, in front of you, you have the gym membership reimbursement that was discussed back on April 2nd, 2018. Would be to reimburse individual employees up to $150 with an annual payout in June. In order to qualify, employee must have an active gym membership during the fiscal year. They don't have to go, but an active gym membership during the fiscal year between July 1 and June 30th. It is not required for an employee to have an active gym membership for the entire time period. So if they join now, we would still reimburse. Any paid months during this time will count as credit to be reimbursed up to the maximum of $150. Verification of membership and payment is required for reimbursement. And just to reiterate, this benefit is for full-time employees only.
Can we add a clause that the board participates? But on a more serious note, what is is there a set deadline for that an employee understands that if that date passes, they are no longer eligible for the reimbursement? I don't see a hard deadline.
So they would have to have a membership between July 1 and June 30th. With an annual payout in June, we would administratively set that date, so June 15th or whatever the date might be, so that we could.
And that's what I mean. If somebody, passed the deadline, if they did participate within that span of time, but yet they asked for their reimbursement, let's say in July, are they still eligible?
Our fiscal year ends June 30th, so we'd like to wrap everything up by June 30th. And so it's administratively, we would set that deadline in June, so we'd have time to get those checks by June 30.
Perfect.
Dr. Carmen, do we have like the set amount of staff that we need in order to continue this wellness program moving forward? Is there some type of limitations or specifications to that?
No, sir. Like I said, we would pay this out up to all 1,600 or so of our employees, so $240,000 that we would pay. And we think that we would see benefit from it in that we'd have less absenteeism from our employees. So we think that it'll kind of pay the district back in the long run if we encourage this healthy lifestyle.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Agenda item? Ready to move on to committee, agenda item number 6, committee concerns? No? We're good? Oh, we have one.
No, we have one, sir. This one came in late because we went out for an RFP for Windstorm Insurance. We opened up the bid this afternoon, so we put it under, and we would like to bring it to the board to approve at the next regular board meeting. Our Windstorm Insurance is, on renewal date is February the 1st. We received one bid, and in your package, one of the items that, last time we brought it and we asked for it to be tabled because we took it back out, one of the things that we had noticed in the past that we were only being insured district-wide for $10 million. In the renewal, you'll see that total insured value district-wide is $388,130,647. We felt that $10 million, if we were to have, it was very low compared to how much if we were to have a named storm and come in, that it wasn't enough insurance. So we went and asked for options of increasing our limit. One is to 150 million, one to 200 million, and one for full amount. Now, the full amount, that would be that we're insuring the district for the full amount, the full limits of 388 plus million. The coverage, 1%, 2%, 3% deductible, and 5% deductible. I've also included what we currently were paying in previous years, and our premium was $256,725. but as I indicated, it was only insuring for 10 million. So we discussed it. I think the best value in mind is that we can fully insure the district for a name storm only for $388 million at a 5% deductible for $431,025. So we're looking for options unless some guidance if we want to go for less amount. And reviewing the surrounding areas, they are insuring 75 to full limits in the surrounding areas. We were close to the 10%. So I just wanted to make
What?
you aware, because I don't want something to happen and say, oh, we were not, we hadn't visited the subject, that we weren't fully insured. And this is for hurricane and name storm. And this is also, the deductible is per building, it is not per site, which
So I think-
is a plus.
Yeah, so I think what we need to take into consideration, since our structures are aging, and they've been aging for quite a while, I think we need to, if you guys want to move on to this, it's fine, but I think what we need to do is really sit down and break this down. So if we do have a storm, or we do have some type of, where we can engage this type of insurance, we need to find out to see exactly if we really need the full coverage or half. But that's not something that, I think we can make a decision on. I think we need a, full assessment. I know there was a full assessment a couple of years back on our buildings and so on and so forth, for somebody to give us an opinion and let us know exactly what we actually need to cover our structures that we have right now. I know we're just fixing the roofs, I know, stuff like that, but I know there is some aging buildings. So if you want to, cite on caution, then I guess we'll have to, go ahead and go with the full amount. But I don't know if that's a decision that, that we want to take on now, or we need to do it now.
Ms. Rendon, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we have a choice because that February 2nd date's
We
soon
need
approaching.
to come consensus, because we don't want to be without insurance.
Yeah.
Now, I can visit, I think what's on the table is what we've been carrying, which is the original one that we brought in, that we can, which is the 10 million. But,
Yeah, because we were close.
We want to increase it? Okay.
and this is a yearly, this is a yearly bid that I bring it to the board for on a yearly basis, so.
So when was the last time it actually got implemented, or
Last time, I'm gonna
that we actually used
say,
some of this insurance money?
I'm not sure, sir, if it was in the 2000, the hurricane, if there was any damage back in 2008,
Wow.
Dolly.
Okay. All right. Agenda item?
Yes.
All right.
And, sir, for clarification, are we any on the 5% or
Oh, excuse
the
me.
full limits, just so that we know what to bring to them?
Yeah, let's go with the 5% full, ma'am. That's
Thank
gonna be
you,
for
sir.
431, right? Okay. All right, we're gonna go ahead and adjourn at 8:32. Thank you.